YouTube wrestling fans, you have the review of the 2/24/11 Impact on the following contest. Naturally, Jason, let's just throw it out there. It was a standard Impact. Am I right?
Yeah, as standard as you can get.
We've got Ric Flair stripping, bleeding himself stupid.
He's got to die in that ring. Watch.
I know he is. You don't got to tell me. Impact opens with basically Mr. Kennedy coming down to the ring and he wants a rematch, calls out Rob Van Dam. Eric Bischoff stays on the ramp and he's all like, I'm going to give you a match with Kurt Angle versus Ken Kennedy versus
Rob Van Dam.
Rob Van Dam. Was the winner of that match number one contender now? Is that what happened?
I believe so, yeah.
Okay, so right now your number one contender is going to be Kennedy?
Yep, Kennedy.
Okay. Throughout the Impact, really nothing went on. We did see the singles debut of Crimson, who was brought in as Amazing Red's brother. I don't know if they're really brothers. Maybe so. Well, they kind of look. He looks like a really big version of Amazing Red. Maybe they just saw him and said, you know what? We've got a guy you could work with. You're brothers.
Pretty much. That's what I think, honestly.
At any rate, I would have liked to see the match go on. He squashed Brutus Magnus. His move was, is it Red Alert?
I believe so, yeah.
Red Alert, whatever. You know, and this was the return to TV for Brutus Magnus. He's been gone for a while on injury. They brought him back to basically get squashed for Crimson's debut. I didn't understand why they did that. Also, back to the Red Alert. You know, it has a lot of potential, but it needs to be done, Jason, to someone smaller.
Yeah, definitely.
Like AJ Styles, like Jay Lethal, like the Amazing Red. You know, a classic cruiserweight body. Not Brutus Magnus, who's kind of like a middleweight, but he's really buff, you know. It kind of looked like they had a struggle during the move, but I think if we get somebody, perfect example would be the Amazing Red. The Amazing Red would not only make that move look better than what it is, he would sell the shit out of it.
They won't put him in a match with him, though. They won't put him in a match with the cruiserweights. So you're only going to see him do that to really big guys. Abyss and probably Rob Terry and people like that. You won't see him do it against AJ Styles or anybody like that. Which is sad because I think it could be a good move. I'm sure he has a lot of other great spots and other things, but...
Yeah, actually, you just took the words out of my mouth. I was going to say I wanted to see him actually work, but like I said, it was a squash, so you only saw maybe a minute and a half,
again,
2 minutes in the ring.
TNA's matches, they're under a minute and 30 seconds long each one, so you can't tell someone what they can do in the ring if they can't showcase it. So, again, that's just TNA with their TV time again.
And okay, fine, if they wanted Crimson to debut big in singles competition and make it a squash, why would it be a return of a former champion that he squashed? I just didn't understand it.
They did that twice tonight, just to let you know.
Yes, well, that is exactly what I'm getting into. As far as this goes, my closing in the argument about Crimson, I think he has a lot of potential, and he could maybe be one of the forerunners of TNA to help save them. He's someone really fresh. He's got a great look to him. I just don't know how he works yet. I like his move, and we'll see how it goes.
I'd like to see a lot more of him, that's all.
Definitely. Speaking of returns, we had just mentioned that Brutus Magnus returned. We saw Madison Rayne do like a little backstage thing, and she tells Victoria, you know, I'm on my own right now. I don't need you. She calls out like open challenge, basically. Whoever's in the back, let's rock and roll. We see the return of ODB. I was, you know, very happy that she was gone. Sure enough, she's back with a vengeance. Interesting point in the match. It was a clean match. I think they both worked great, and Madison Rayne went over clean on the return of ODB. I understand that she does have the women's belt right now in TNA.
TNA loves Madison Rayne. They love
They're
her.
super high on her. They are super high on her. I think that's the first time I've seen her win, especially clean, one-on-one. So, definitely hats off to TNA for doing that. And I guess we can give a little credit to Madison Rayne, but more than anything, give the credit to ODB for putting the younger girl over and not demand, well, I'm returning. I'm number one contender. You know what I mean? How many times have we seen that? The boys in the back don't even do that, Jason. You realize that.
No, nobody does that.
Nobody does that. So, as much as I hate ODB, respect for doing that. She put over Madison Rayne. Clean. Very cool.
And I think TNA definitely needs ODB. I don't like her either, but they need to fix their knockout division as fast as possible.
I agree. Moving on from that, the current number one contenders for the tag team titles are Gunnar and Murphy, who debuted ring gear this evening. You know, I don't know what to make of Gunnar and Murphy. They basically
Fuck them. I don't want to see them on TV.
I don't even remember who they faced. It was a bullshit team. Oh, Orlando Jordan and
Eric Young.
Eric Young. Speaking of Eric Young, Scott Steiner kind of slapped him around and told him to go find his boyfriend. After that, Scott Steiner was scheduled for a posing contest, a pose down, with Rob Terry, which resulted in Rob Terry coming out like bodybuilder competition ready. Scott Steiner came out in his same main event Mafia suit.
He doesn't even know what's going on. Am I in the main event Mafia?
Well, regardless, at the end of the segment, we saw Scott Steiner take off his jacket, getting ready to fight. And Rob Terry decides to hit him in his shoulder with a barbell, with a weight. You know, no, we're not even going to mention the subject. Forget about it. Moving on, the reason we told all the fans last week to watch Impact, AJ Styles and Ric Flair, didn't really. The bell never rang, so it wasn't exactly a match. We saw Ric Flair strip, get bloody, and then Hernandez came to save the day. I did like at the end, though, Jason, where we had all of Fortune doing the Fortune symbol in the middle of the ring. I like that. I like Fortune. They're a good group of guys with talent. I'm not a big fan of Kazarian, but with them, I like them. I like the idea of Fortune. I don't like the idea that they're not with Ric Flair.
No, they messed that up. They had a perfect stable.
Yeah,
right there.
no, you know, hey, I'm a Hall of Famer. I am the Four Horsemen. You could be the new Four Horsemen. And they did the same thing with like Chris Benoit. They put Chris Benoit on the Four Horsemen and Mongo McMichael.
It's Mongo.
Mongo. Forget about that. Who else was the Four Horsemen? Dean Malenko. Come on, man. You know, just great wrestlers. And with the help of Ric Flair, even better. The main event we mentioned earlier, Ken Kennedy is now the number one contender. And when he will get a title shot is beyond me, considering he never got his rematch. Come on.
Well, okay. Imagine this. Imagine you don't lose the belt like Rob Van Dam did and don't get your title shot for months. And you get your title shot and the match doesn't even sell. It doesn't even draw, nothing. Now you have Kennedy basically going to get the belt. But you think we should say the spoiler for next week?
No. No spoilers on the show. No spoilers on the show. Not cool. Well, before we get ourselves in trouble, we're going to wrap this thing up. We'll see you in the weekend with a news and rumor show. Take care.